Here we go again, guys. Another code for this one's going to be on hangers. Um, so when you're doing hangers on a branch line, not an arm over, it's a branch line. When you got a long run of pipe, that's branch line. You wanna space your code says that you got to be maxed out. For 1 inch, it's an inch and a quarter. It's 15 feet. Anything above inch and a quarter, like inch and a half and up, your spacing on your hangers have to be 12. I follow a general rule of thumb, and I usually hang my hangers at 10 feet. Just looks better, keeps the pipe straighter. There you go, 10 feet. But that's just an opinion, and that's just how I do it over the years. It's just 10 feet. Where everybody gets confused is the last hanger on a branch line. So the code says that on a branch line, if your pipe is 1 inch branch line you can only be 3 feet from the end of the hanger to the sprinkler head or the end of pipe. 3 feet for 1 inch. For inch and a quarter, you could be up to 4 feet overhang on inch and a quarter pipe. And then for inch and a half and up, you can have a span of 5 feet. Part of your tape measure there, Jeremiah. So from that sprinkler head, 5 feet, I could put a hanger right there, and that would be codes. And that's what the code book says. That's just for the branch line. So inch and a half and up, you can be, if you have a 5 foot overhang on the pipe. Inch and a quarter, it's 4 feet. 1 inch, it's 3 feet. So for that code, that's for the branch line. Now, this is where people get mixed up. Now, when you have an arm over coming off the pipe, let's say a 1 inch arm over, you can only be 2 feet. If the pipe is 2'1", then you got to put a hanger on it. If it's 1'11", then you don't have to put a hanger on it. So anything 2 feet and over, you got to put a hanger on it. That's for 1 inch pipe.
Unless
you have a fire pump and the pressure is over 100 psi, then you want to keep your hangers 1 inch or 1 foot. You don't want to go over 1 foot, basically, on the psi being a higher psi or more, or if you got a fire pump on the system, you always want to make sure that your hangers, anything over a foot, has to have a hanger on it. If it's anything under 100, then it's up to 2 feet. So what I always tell guys too, when you're doing a warehouse like this, where you've got, your overhead system is really high, and your ceiling is going to be like 10 feet off the floor. So that means you're going to have some long drop downs. I tell guys, no matter what, put a hanger on it when you're doing a drop down, and that drop down is like 10 feet long or whatever. I put a hanger on it no matter what, because gravity starts to take over and it'll bend. Especially if you put a mech T on this thing, that's so much weight on a mech T. So always put hangers on anything over 2 feet. If the PSI is over 100 PSI, you gotta be within a foot, a bite. So, but regardless of the matter, I always, even if it's 1 inch pipe coming out and it's, let's say 1 foot, and I got to drop down it, I'm gonna hang it no matter what, because my drop down's gonna carry a lot of weight, especially when you're full of water. So just a rule of thumb on Armovers versus branch lines. Branch line is a long run. So your hanger is spacing, and then the end of hanger is different from when we put in an arm over. So
How far can you have a hanger from your head?
now, the hanger rule for sprinkler heads is 3 inches. So if you got a hanger right here at 3 inches, you're good. If you get any closer than 3 inches, you got to move your hanger somewhere else. So you just want to make sure if you got a hanger right here that you're at least 3 inches away from that sprinkler head. That's just what the code says. I don't know if it would really obstruct the sprinkler head, but that's what the rule says in the code book. Is just stay 3 inches away from the sprinkler head. And then, like I said, branch lines on mowers are different. Hopefully that helps you guys out, that code, and it's always good to know your code. Okay? Have a good day, guys. Subscribe.